One of America's most famous writers had secretly traveled across the country and even joined a war to find out if his brother was dead or not. Walt Whitman was born in 1819 in New York, eventually becoming famous as America's world poet, being called a later-day successor to Dante and Shakespeare. But despite his success, something soon happened in his life that forced him to give it all up. During the Civil War, his brother was drafted to fight on the front lines, and with no internet at the time and no way to communicate with him, Walt came across an article in the news listing out all the most recent dead and injured, and there he saw it, his brother's name. In desperation, he packed his bags and he headed south. Having his wallet stolen along the way and unable to hitch a ride, he was forced to walk day and night, asking people for help, trying to get any information he could. But eventually he found them, his brother. He was still alive, and with only a very small flesh wound on his cheek. But while he was in the hospital, that's when he saw the horrors of war. Heaps of soldiers wounded with their limbs amputated and a stench of gangrene rotting from their bodies. And in that moment, he made the decision. He would give up his home in New York and his career as a writer. And he would go to Washington, D.C. to find a part-time job and dedicate the rest of his time as a volunteer nurse. His new life was grueling. He walked miles each day to visit hospitals across the city, bringing gifts for the wounded, dressing their wounds and offering them comfort. He faced exhaustion and heartbreak and the constant presence of death, yet he persisted, even as he spent his own meager salary to buy supplies for the soldiers. The darkest moments came when he would sit with dying men, holding their hands, listening to their last words, and writing letters to their families. But when the war finally ended in 1865, Walt was physically depleted, but spiritually enriched, and he returned to his writing, channeling his experiences into perhaps his best work ever.